Hi darlings, welcome to my channel. It's again Lerato, and today I'm back again with another video. So today I'm talking about studying an MBA as well as entrepreneurship. So if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for tuning in today. And if you are new to my channel, I am Lerato. I share faith-based videos as well as my entrepreneurship journey and my study journey, basically my experience studying an MBA online. So welcome aboard. I hope you become a subscriber too. So I decided to shoot this video about being a young board member or a young executive because I feel that I'm in the best year of my life, not because what can I say, I'm already a millionaire or so, but because so many things I had prayed for and so many things I had been hoping for are beginning to happen, especially in my journey of being an entrepreneur. And what better time to shoot this except now? It's awesome. I feel that it's so awesome when you're speaking about being a young entrepreneur while you're still young. I just want to share how I feel right now, kind of like a real-time experience, and hope to grow and to even share more better knowledge as I grow with the years. So I'm currently 28 years old, and since 2021 I got to join an amazing team and became part of the board members of a good, wonderful company that I'm not gonna disclose on this channel maybe until in the future, like nearby future. But I got to really join this team of experienced people that are already big in the industry, people that are already entrepreneurs themselves, running companies that I wouldn't even what can I say, I wouldn't even think of starting myself. But yeah, I got to really join these people. Most of them, they already have their MBAs, and the good thing about this is that they've attained their MBAs from different institutions. So when I sit down with them in this meeting, we get to bring in all this different knowledge, and I also get to learn a lot, because this is my first board membership experience that I've ever what can I say, that I've ever had. So this is the first time being an official board member, and with most of these people, they have been, actually all of these people, they have been board members in different organizations, and as I said, they're already executives, they're directors and so on in their own respective companies. So really it's a good learning experience for me. It's a good experience for my MBA as well as for my personal journey in entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship, I can say, has been something that has been part of me. Before I talk about my entrepreneurship journey, I just want to mention something that I learned since studying my MBA in 2020. And in this journey, I have had different classmates online, and most of them are executives. They're already people who are running businesses, and they're really seeking to gain more knowledge to be able to run their businesses and so on, and even grow their companies. While some are people who are working in the corporate, and they really are doing this MBA with the hopes of getting a better position within the company and growing within the company. So one thing I've learned is that with an MBA, it really depends on your approach of studying the MBA. Why are you doing it? And I feel that your why is what will determine the outcome of what you get from your MBA experience. For me, I am somebody who actually had what can I say, a vision to have my own business in the education space, and I knew that I wanted to do an MBA, but I just didn't know how I was gonna go about it, because we all know teachers, we aren't being paid enough, and MBA in South Africa I think it's 200 and something thousand. I know I studied with Vets University, and at the time it was 200 and something thousand, and that was gonna mean taking a loan. I didn't want to take a study loan, and by the way, I don't think I was gonna even be able to get a loan for 200 and something thousand, but you know, you never know. But I just didn't want to do that. But at the same time, you know, with schools, it's rare. I've never heard where or heard of somebody who was given a scholarship by a school to go and do an MBA. But so when I started studying towards my MBA, I then what can I say, my passion in business and my ideas started being refined, and I kind of started having a focus, you know. So I've done a lot of things, and I feel that now what I'm doing right now, I've actually found my purpose in, you know, especially career wise. Like right now, everything is just making sense. But I had been doing, you know, small business and so on, and having to then start studying formally, I then, you know, I've noticed that my ideas started being refined. I started having a clear direction of where I want to go and what I want to do. And so I even went and, you know, positioned my LinkedIn profile properly. I worked on my, you know, my own portfolio as an individual, my own CV, and, you know, tailoring it to exactly what I want. And, you know, I had to write down business plans. I had to develop, you know, strategies and so on for my own idea due to the knowledge I gather in studying an MBA. Right now, I'm saying I'm a young board member, yes, but, you know, in terms of entrepreneurship, I feel like my entrepreneurship journey started very early in my life, and it started with my mom. You know, my father was not somebody who was entrepreneurial, was not somebody who really was into these things of, you know, selling and so on and da da da. He was just somebody who was content in working for us and so on. While my mom has always been a person who, you know, was into using her skills to sell something. You know, there was a time where she had, you know, she was very passionate about doing hair, like plaiting people's hair, and she did that and she made an income for us. And my mom's entrepreneurial mindset, she got it from my grandmother, who in her life, she told me that, you know, my grandmother was born in 1934, and she told me that before she got married, her father had cows. And, you know, back in the villages in Botswana, that's where my grandmother grew up, my mother's mother. So back in the village in Botswana, you know, people relied on farming and all those things, you know, and buying from each other mainly. So her father owned cows, and so she would go as a girl, go and milk the cows, and then go and sell that milk and so on. And that's really how she got introduced in the world of entrepreneurship. Her brother grew to be a farmer. My grandmother was also a farmer, and she owned a very big farm in Botswana, and she also owned livestock. And her brother also, who just passed away this year, had a very big farm, had even huge, what can I say, had even huge impact in the area of livestock and so on. And to such an extent that he even passed this business to his son, who constantly keeps on coming to South Africa and making deals and selling and so on. So really, you can see this thing of growing up in a background where you are introduced to business at a younger age has really a huge impact in how you view life and how you view financial liberty, financial freedom and so on. My mom now, growing up and being married to my father, she was still that person who had that passion for business, but I feel that at the same time she didn't really take it that seriously. It would be maybe during the season where she feels like I really now need money for something, then she will quickly think of something and do it and then generate the money. But at some point then she gives up and so on. But I feel that, you know, most of these things, they also need God in the midst of them, because, you know, he gives you that guidance, he gives you that focus, he gives you that surety, you know, that he is with you and you can accomplish. So but for me now, coming down to me, how I got introduced into this world of entrepreneurship was after my parents separated, and my mom now was a single mom to the three of us. So she had three daughters, which she still have, and she had to provide for us. And I remember she worked for some whites. She was cleaning there, and she would also work on weekends, like every Saturday. The only time she rest was Sunday, but she was being paid 600 rands, which later was then increased to 800 rands. So you can just imagine, that's not really enough money to live in. Yes, at the time, I think transport to go from our what can I say, location, our township, yes, to town was around 8 rands or so. And yeah, things were really not too expensive, but still 800 rands was not that enough really for us, and you know, for her to maintain us. So that's when we relocated into a new environment in the township, and she decided that she was gonna have to go back into business, and she would have to use her cooking skills, you know. So she was selling, at the time we were selling what we call in South Africa magwinya. So at the time I was in high school, I was in grade 8, and I think I was 13 years old, 14 years old, somewhere there. Yeah, I think I was somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken, you know. And that's when my mom decided really to start selling, you know, just to generate enough money to take care of us. She actually quit her job and was now staying at home and, you know, relying on her business, her small business, to take care of us, to feed us and to help us through school. Yeah, so in that year we used to sell Coca-Cola, and we also used to sell what you call this, fish, fried fish, as well as meat, all these things that, you know, people like. And we also used to have a public telephone there, and my mom also used to sell the puff puffs. So what was so good about you know, what we used to sell at the time was that our neighbor actually used to have a mini tavern where people will come every Friday and they will groove, they will just listen to music, drink alcohol the whole night. So in the morning they'll be hungry, and you know how hangover is, so they will want something salty to eat, and they'll just come to my home, buy the fried fish and so on, and the Coca-Cola, the Coke, so that they can eat, and then they'll go home. And some wouldn't actually go home, some would only go home on Sunday. So Friday morning they come, they buy, they eat, they go back to sit under the tree listening to music, chatting and so on. Later on they come and buy again and so on. So on the weekend, during the weekend, we used to make so much. But then with the puff puffs, although they were so good, they were not really selling that much, and my mom felt that, you know, maybe she could actually even make more income if we could now take what we are selling to the people. And so who better to sell on the streets at the time? That was me, because my younger sisters, they were very young. I mean, the other one was 3 years old, the other one was 5 years old, 4 years, somewhere there. So they were very young really to go out there and sell, so I had to do it, and I'm the firstborn. So I had to take a bucket and go house to house and start selling to people. In the beginning, I didn't sell much. I came back, I think the bucket was still half full. I used to actually carry a 20-liter bucket full of puff puffs, and yeah, that time really, the first time I didn't sell that much. But as I continued building relationship with people and so on, and they started trusting me, the buying started going very high. People started buying in large numbers, such that, you know, when I would cover half of the area, before I cover half of the area that I was supposed to sell in, the packet will be finished and people will be urging me to go back home and get some more so that they can buy, and sometimes even if I go home and collect the second packet, it wouldn't be enough to cover the whole area, because other people used to buy so many puffs, for the family and so on. And I used to have angry customers who would be very angry that I don't reach their houses and they've been waiting for me. So then I would tell them, okay, let's just go back home so that my mom can cook for you there and so on. But it was just really awesome. And that was really my first time of being introduced to business. I really value the matriarch of my family, my grandmother, for really nurturing that, what can I say, inner passion or skill that most of us in my family are born with. And I feel that for me, I have really decided that I'm not just gonna let that be something that I used to just bring some money to boost me there and there and do a side hustle. I'm really going to nurture this and grow in this. Later on, after finishing my matric, and now I had to think about going to university. I remember I got university acceptance, but I couldn't afford to go there and register, even though I had the scholarship to to come and study, but I couldn't afford to take a taxi and travel all the way there and have a place to sleep so that I could register. And back then, in 2013, online registration was not there, especially in that institution. It wasn't that much that something that universities were using. Universities started adapting to online registrations and so on later on, and more importantly when COVID-19 came. So I had to go there, register, or I lose the scholarship. And yeah, I ended up losing it, but I got a short-term scholarship from the mine in my area at the time, and I got to come to Johannesburg and go to Edubem College, where we got to take certain subjects that we didn't do at high school. And if you didn't do well in certain subjects, then you could actually rewrite them so that you can improve your career options at university. And one of the things I got to do, which was something I didn't major in, I majored in math and science. I got to do accounting and business studies, as well as communication studies and computer skills. So all these things, these 4 additional subjects that I did, they actually benefited me a lot in nurturing my passion in business. With the business studies, we actually were taken deeper into studying more about the stock market, buying shares, as well as starting a business, managing a business. It was more of intense skills. It was not really just the business skills that you just do business studies you do in school, but it was about dealing with real life situations. And with the accounting, we got to just be taught more of bookkeeping within the company and certain things of how to manage finances within the business. And at the end of that year, I did so well in all my subjects, such that I attracted another sponsor and I went to study education. Fast forward, at university, I had this passion to still go into business. 2021, my husband received an inbox from one of the ladies who's actually the founder of the company that I'm a board member in, and I did an interview with them, and then after that I got the offer. And ever since that time, I've been part of the board. So right now, with my experience and my husband's experience, so as I said, my husband is a lecturer and he's been lecturing since 2019, since 2019, and on top of that he has a degree in computer science. So we adventured into the ed tech space, and one of us had to have good computer skills, and so he was an asset. And at the same time he also has that experience at the higher institution level. He gets to see the gaps that exist with the students that he gets to teach and interact with, and so we're able to use that knowledge to prepare students, you know, better for university, while at the same time I come with this experience of being a teacher, having been in a classroom and having really used to the South African curriculum, the international curriculums and so on, and my experience with being with corporate with companies that really were not focused on being a school but providing services to schools, and you know, also having had the opportunity to work with I think 2 tech companies, that those experiences, and you know, also now what I'm doing, the MBA, literally every time I take a new module in my studies, it is so relevant to what I'm doing, and it gives me, you know, golden nuggets about, you know, things that I was actually not aware of. You know, I always have that aha moment where I'm like, wow, I didn't know this. Oh, I can do this. Oh, this is how it should be done. So really, all that, you know, brought us together to start this. And in the beginning I was quite nervous because I thought, what if we don't agree on ideas? But the thing about me and my husband, I've realized the way our skills are, they blend in, and we are handling different departments, and so even if we have different ideas somewhere, we always find a way to reconcile them. Like, we haven't had a moment where we really have to argue and so on. And our company so far has been able to attract the best individuals that I never thought I could actually approach and employ, and that really tells you about the vision, you know, that people are seeing in this company, and I can only anticipate the best for the future. So that's it, you guys. That's what's going on so far in my year 28. So I can't wait for the year 29, year 30 to see where I would have gone with my life. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.